After 3 years of protests, lengthy debates by MPs and an 11th-hour bid to scupper it in the House of Lords, the first phase of the controversial high-speed 2 rail project has gained parliamentary approval. Construction will now begin on the line from London to Birmingham, but it will be nearly a decade before passenger trains use the route.
So we started in 1976 as a car business importing Subaru into the UK, and we grew quite quickly over the years. Our building that we had in West Bromwich began to reflect the nature of that growth. So it started as one size and we added pieces on, and eventually, before you know it, we'd kind of got a building that was not really one building anymore. And I think we felt in moving here to Coleshill Manor, we'd always been looking for a place that probably began to reflect where the company had arrived at and the future for the business. We thought that we were going to be here for 30 or 40 years, but obviously HS2 had different ideas.
I think it was 2013 HS2 got in touch. We learnt about the fact they needed the site, and our HQ, which we'd moved into I think in 2006, was going to be no more. Bit of a mixture of emotions, and I think we embraced it. We're going to make the most of it.
And then you begin to think, okay, is there an opportunity here? How do we reflect where the company has arrived at, what the company's ambitions are for the future, how the company wants to operate and work, the new state that we find ourselves in, how do we reflect all of that in the building? So I think it's been a great opportunity for the new building to reflect all the constituent parts of our company. So I'm grateful for that, and that's something we wanted to weave right through the project at every level.
I think it's like most things that involve change. You know, it's disruptive, it can be intimidating, and you know, it can be a real concern. But once you embrace it, you can really see the potential and the opportunity and that brought about by that change.
Arriving at the building when it's all the pain of thinking about, you know, what is our department going to be like, how is it going to function, you know, can I make the move? And I hope that when they arrive, their first impression is, oh, this actually is what a fantastic place this is going to be to work. And I think that will happen. I hope it will.
When we first were told, well, you've got 2 years, we've got to deliver a new headquarters. In an ideal world, we wanted minimum 2.5 years. It's not just the HQ, there's Christian Vision, there's the Academy. Best will in the world, you're probably on circa 15 to 18 months construction. So at day one when we were told we've got 2 years to deliver, and there was a big question mark, to deliver what? Straight away you think, well, we've got to pretty much know what we've got to deliver within 6 months. And that's not just developing a brief, that's then going out and assembling the team, the architect, the engineer, the mechanical, the electrical, the fire experts, the cladding experts. There's a long list of consultants that are involved in this process, but you don't get what we're trying to deliver without some blood, sweat and tears.
It's a very personalised process, isn't it? It's the HQ, and I guess to an extent it's like designing your own home.
We want people to have an understanding of us and who we are the moment they walk through the door. And so we came up with a brief actually to give to the architect and the interior designer, and the brief really was the strength of a bank and solidity and reliability of a bank, but the style of an advertising agency.
We are on site building a building which hasn't been designed from start to finish, because we haven't got time to do that. We haven't got time to plot absolutely everything out in front of us and say, right, okay, that's done, the entirety of it is signed off, now we're going to go and build it. But we've had no alternative. So
the team, I know, have been working extremely hard to try and manage that as best we can. I have a lot of conversations with the team talking about this is a problem with regard to timing. Is there any way that we can shorten this? What about if we change something slightly? So this is a moving feast. We're doing it as we go along. I hope it's going to be ready.
Our project team are pretty confident it's the best office building being constructed at present, bar none, including the City of London.
The client is obviously a developer, but it's very different when the developer is developing their own project. So that's been quite interesting to see how they react on there, because their attitude is obviously going to be slightly different when it's their own product that's going to be on display. And I think there's obviously an added pressure on them as well to deliver their own project. So that's been quite interesting. But it's not a standard building, and therefore some of the things we're doing are different and outside of their sphere of what they've normally produced. So I think there is a degree of learning process going for everybody in the team.
If this was a normal office building, you're trying to design for everybody. This is literally, underneath it all, quite bespoke to them. So that's why we've got the exhibition space, the materials, the wow factor, the restaurant, the terraces, the boardroom. So it all flows from that, really. Then obviously the academy is pulled separately. The academy's in Greenbelt, so that had to be subterranean to appease the planners. And then you've got Christian Vision, which is a standalone building which needed to be different.
One of the things we were quite keen to do was reflect the building into the landscape. So a lot of the steel structures that you'll see coming out into the landscape were part of our suggestion, and using those materials and getting those earthy materials to match the building. So we worked very closely with the architects on that, and that's worked actually really well. We have had a very good relationship on that.
We also wanted to replicate Coleshill Manor, and the actual journey from the front gate, as long a journey as possible that the building reveals itself. We didn't want it to be an instant wow and it's over.
The nature of the design that we've got, they're not all horizontal walls, they're leaning, as part of the design by Webb Gray. And again, they're very visual. You're standing by a lift, you're going to be very close up looking at these shuttered concrete walls, so you had to get it right.
The aesthetics of those walls, if they went wrong, I'd be knocking concrete walls down, so they needed to go right and they needed to go well first time. It's not something that you can have a second stab at or cover it up, so it needed to be right.
I just like the openness. I like the openness. I think the showroom, having the cars and the shuttered concrete through it is really nice, especially since as from an M&E point of view. The mechanical side you don't really see, but the lighting really accentuates it. So we've got a lot of linear slot lights which really pick out the sharp angles and the square features of it.
This is a country park, really. It goes all the way down the Blythe Valley, so it's quite a rural sort of location. Core 10's a lovely steel. It's quite warm, quite earthy. It rusts naturally, so it just felt like a natural product that would sit within the landscape, but when viewed from the motorway, just has a lovely orange glow to it.
So the palette of materials, if you look at it, precast concrete, glass, steel, and Core 10, they're all kind of honest, natural materials, which tie in really well with the country park. But back to the Core 10 rusty steel, I initially thought there was absolutely no way Andrew's going to go for that. Where, big part of this business originated from cars, and here we are, new HQ, and we're going to stick rusty steel on. I thought there's absolutely no way.
I think actually that it's turned out absolutely fantastically. Interestingly, it's also repeated in the doorway. So you have a mini version of the arch as the entrance door. So that's an important element of the building.
I wasn't initially convinced on the Core 10, to be quite honest. I didn't support that day one, but I went with it. However, having worked on the building for so long now, having seen various Core 10 structures, it has grown on me, to be quite honest, and I think it really is the right decision to have been made. And I think the palette of materials, really works well in the setting. We've got very natural products in a natural, open country park, and I think it's all in keeping. It's very honest, I think, in its way. It's honest, it's unnatural.
Within reception, you've got it's really a triple height space. It takes you up to the Sky Lounge, the restaurant area. But there is a feature staircase that goes through this space. And we've designed it to cantilever from floor to floor. And originally we wanted this to be in shuttered concrete.
And it originally was going to have to be cast actually inside the building, and it was going to be one of the firsts, one of the world firsts, I think, in the building. But unfortunately, it was going to take 7 or 8 weeks too long to do it. So it was one of the things that got cut because of the time scale.
So quite late on in the programme, we had to do a U-turn really. So again, we took it away, went through various options, and we've come back with a staircase that we're still testing. However, I think it will be a lovely staircase. I think it will look like it's floating, and I think Andrew will like it.
I just think spatially that there are so many pieces to this that are just a lovely, lovely feeling. So everything has been considered, everything has something quite special about it.
It's a very nice job to be working associated with. The finishes are very high end, so it's a pleasure to work with materials that you like and you're happy to work with and happy to have your name against.
I think for me personally, to be able to stand in front of the building, I had a CGI that was signed off nearly 2 years ago potentially, that I'll be able to stand there and say we've done it, there's the building. To have everybody in the building, and if we're all there, we've made it, and everybody's at their desk and they're happy and they're just thinking, wow, and I think it will be brilliant.
I'm really proud of this building. There is not one standout thing. It's a sum of its parts, of which every little part of it has been thought about and considered over and over again.
It's going to be a whole host of emotions, isn't it? Am I proud of the fact that I work for a business which has grown to such an extent that it can command a HQ like that, and that I was part of it? But then again, I'm so proud of the team that IM Properties have got. If you look at what we've got here, which was the product of IM Properties 2006, to what you'll see with the product of IM Properties 2018, they're going to be pretty different things. So that demonstrative change is probably what I'm going to be most proud of.
Especially knowing Madge and Jace and the team and hearing about the vision and what they were aiming for, and then actually getting here and seeing it delivered, I just was blown away.
When I saw the plans, I was like, wow, this place looks absolutely amazing. And then we moved here and it lived up to the expectations, actually surpassed it. Absolutely love the place.
But you still look avoid your discovery, because every day you come in and find something different and something new you hadn't seen before. So yeah, absolutely way above any expectation I had.
And it was such a great atmosphere for the first day, and I think a lot of people were kind of thinking it's like a holiday. A lot of us were saying, well, when is this going to end?
And as far as the academy and all those type of things, it means that we can now put bigger and better demands on other people. You know, we're lifting our standards, we expect them to lift them with us, and that's the way you grow your business and get a really good reputation.
For us, it's such an advert for who we are as a business in terms of the quality that we deliver, the care that we take when we're delivering something, and being innovative and pushing boundaries and doing things that people might not expect you to do.
I think having a facility like this, it puts us on the map, it reinforces everything else that we stand for. It puts into real context what IM are about.
I like the idea of people coming together as a business. That interaction that we have together, the teamwork, friendship, camaraderie that we can build together as a team is extremely important. And for me, that will always be one of the defining things about what makes a great company. So the building itself, we want to be a great place to house that kind of atmosphere. We want it to be a place that, you know, people, they enjoy their time here. They feel that the company has invested in them, is helping them to do their job as well as they can. I think the building reflects that. And the message to them is, hey look, we've given you the tools. We really want to champion you. We want to celebrate how great you are. Go ahead and do something brilliant.
You all set out on a journey where you have expectations, and we certainly had high expectations. I'm sure Andrew had even higher expectations. And as we stand here, I think we've actually exceeded those expectations. And first and foremost, you build brick, stone, mortar to create an environment. And for me, the one thing I'm really proud of is actually the positive environment that is created. I'm really proud of that. So for me, it's really job done.